Hey everyone, you are watching the Indian Dev. I am Ayush and I'm back again with another exciting web development project, and this project is going to be a full stack one because as you can see that we are building the WhatsApp clone. So I just wanted to make sure that it is fully functional WhatsApp clone, and in which recently we have worked with like a lot of React.js based projects, so we are comfortable with the UI part. Now with this project we will be learning the database end, the server end, and some sort of socket programming. So in that manner, this project is going to be very exciting and very helpful to you guys. So make sure that you are building this WhatsApp clone by your own, and once you are done with that, you can share the link of your WhatsApp clone with me. We will be going through various processes in terms of UI development, in terms of database design, in terms of API creation, in terms of managing the sockets, and finally we will be deploying our applications like the front end to the GitHub pages and the back end to maybe Heroku or somewhere else. So let's start the video, but before starting the video I just wanted to make sure that if you guys are new to my channel, the Indian Dev, then please make sure to subscribe to the Indian Dev. I'm having a lot of projects and some sort of tutorial on the channel, so you guys can consider subscribing me on YouTube. And I just wanted to thank to you guys to make the subscribers count to 3000, and other than this, if you have subscribed to my YouTube channel, you can also follow me over Instagram, where I'm constantly sharing the tech related content, or most of the time you will see the content related to programming, the content related to web development. So yes, you guys can follow me over there. You can find the link of my Instagram handle on in description box, and other than this you will find another link that is for the WhatsApp clone repository of this project. So this is the repository where you can find all the source code and all the useful information or the links. Wherever you are stuck, you can always go through with this repository. If you just wanted to check the styling, you just wanted to check the components, then you can always go to this repository to check out that what you are missing with. So yes, now let's start with this WhatsApp clone. So first of all, what I will be doing is I'll be just demonstrating you guys that how it's gonna work, and this is the very first video of this project where we will be building this amazing WhatsApp clone from scratch. And yeah, for a front-end development we will be definitely using React.js, and as you can see that this is the landing screen. So whenever you just logged into the React.js, or we can say you are logged into the WhatsApp, then you will see this landing screen which shows some sort of placeholder like keep your phone connected. This is just a placeholder. We are not doing something with the phone, but just to make it look like WhatsApp, we are doing this. We are having the placeholder. At the left side you can see the user's profile pic is here, and the search box to search the contact list or the messages list. You can search around here, and other than this you can see the contact list from where I can select any of them. And you can if I just wanted to chat with Ayush, that is again my name, so if I just click on that, you will see that the placeholder panel has been converted to the conversation plan panel, and here is the profile picture and the profile name of the user. And here you can see the conversations and the messages. You can see that hey man, hey what's up, all good, what about you, I'm good as well, great, have you subscribed to the Indian Dev? So from here, from the bottom input field, I can type a message and I can simply send it to the another guy. And here you can see that we are having the emoji. So if I just click on this emoji, then you will see the emoji picker is here, from where we can choose any of the emoji for our messages. If I just wanted to write here, yes, I just subscribed, and you just need to hit the enter button and your message will be sent. So here you can see the message has been sent. Now it's not going to any of the backend because we haven't designed the backend, we haven't initialized the Node.js project. So this is all from mock data, or you can say the dummy data. So in this video we will be developing this amazing thing all together, and in the upcoming videos what we will be learning, we will be definitely designing the database or the schema for the collections in the MongoDB. And other than this, we will be setting up the Node.js project, we will be creating the APIs, we will be working with the sockets, and definitely after that we will be integrating all that backend stuff to the front end part. So before any further delay, what I can do is, like, just to initiate a project, I can simply go to my terminal, and you just need to write this command, npx create react app command. That is a pretty basic, and if you are comfortable with React.js, then I think you should know this. And if you don't know about this, then this is the command that will be creating your application, or we can say that your application's base structure with the minimum required files. And yes, I just ran this command, npx create react app command, react app, and I just named my application as WhatsApp clone. And what it has done is it has installed all the required dependencies, and here it is saying that yes, happy hacking, the project has been created. And once it's created, you can always open it in the whatever the code editor or the IDE you are using. So I'll be using this VS Code editor for developing the WhatsApp clone. And here you can see that WhatsApp clone is here, and the base structure is again here, where you can see like some sort of files. And yeah, we will be definitely going through the folder structure. And if you guys are already comfortable with the folder structure or the initial stuff, you can skip to the next chapter for this in this video. And yeah, I'll be going to the terminal, and in the terminal I just need to write npm start. That will start my application on the local host. And again, if I go to the directory structure until it's starting the application, we can have a walkthrough. In the package.json file, we are having all the dependencies that you can see on the screen. So I just did one thing, this is the style components that we will be using in this particular project for styling our components. And again, it's the choice of individual. If you just wanted to go with the basic CSS, then there is no difference, you can simply work with the basic CSS, and the style component is pretty much similar. So yes, it's saying yeah, so my 3000 port is already occupied, so I just yeah, so it's starting my development server at localhost 3001, and the application will be visible here soon. So now, I was talking about this style components, one thing I can do here is I can remove the testing libraries, because as of now we will be not going with that stuff. So here we are having the minimum required libraries. And if I go to the folder structure, as I said that I will not be using the CSS, or I'll be working with the style components, so I'll just remove the app.css, app.test, and some test related stuff. But before that, let's see if that's working or not, the React application. So yes, the React application is working. And if I just wanted to walk you through the file, so this is the file app.js, which is responsible for rendering this particular dummy application or the dummy UI. Here you can see, if I just remove this part, I just need to minimize this. If I just remove this, and if I simply write the Indian dev, and I just press save button, and let me refresh. So yes, here you can see that all the UI has been gone and the Indian dev is visible here. Now I can remove these unnecessary files that I will not be using. So I can simply delete them, just to make our folder structure a little more clear. So yes, now we are having the stuff here. For this, I just wanted to remove this. I'll not be using the class names, or we can say the particular CSS. So this is the basic thing. And in the index.js file, we can remove this as well, as we have removed the dependencies. So yes, now our application is visible here. I can close this, I can close this as well, and now we can start developing our application. And before developing the application, what I can do is I can simply go back to the WhatsApp clone, and we can simply think that how we gonna build this application. So if I just consider that this is the container of this application, the whole container that is containing the application, and in that part we can divide it into two parts. First one is, we can say, the contact list component, and the second one is we can say a component which will render the placeholder or the conversation component, depending on the condition. If I just refresh this, So initially there will be a placeholder but once contact is selected like this, then it is going to like update the conversation component. And as we all know that this is data is coming from the mock data or dummy data, that's why it's same for all the users. But once we are done with the backend stuff, then this will be totally real time and that will be coming from the database itself, so we need not to worry about that. So I can start by like I just need to bring it here. And firstly what I'll be doing is I'll be simply importing the style components. So to work with the style components, I just need to write import style from style components, and I'll be defining a container for the application. So this is the container, and so style.div and the two backticks. So in case you are comfortable with the classes or the CSS, then what you can do is instead of defining the style components, you can simply go to the like CSS file and like start writing the classes. I will be simply writing the CSS property here, like display flex. I just wanted to initiate with display flex is here. Now the next thing is like the flex direction. The flex direction should be row, as we want the stuff in the column manner. So this is like the flex direction row. I just wanted to make sure that our height or the height of the container is 100 vh, that is the complete vertical height. And for the width I'll go with the 100% that is available, 100%, and no, it's 100%, yeah. And other than this, what I can do is I can simply define some sort of background color. And so like if you will like think that how can I like define the background color without having any design perspective, for that like I'm using like a tool, or you can say the if there is any tool available in your OS that is used for like color picking, then you can definitely use those like color picker, so that you can identify the color code for that. And the good thing is I'm having all the color code available with me, so I can simply use that. And if you are like looking for these source code or these color codes, then you can simply go to the GitHub repository, and from there you can check out the color codes. Now if I can refresh, then you will see that this the color code has been changed. Like if I can remove this, then you will see a difference here. So yes, this is proper white, and I'll be using a little gray color here. So this is the container of our application. Now what next I'll be doing is I'll be simply like creating the components. One thing is I can simply go to the folder structure, and inside the source I can create a new folder that is going to be the components, so that it's not like a messy or look like messed up with the components stuff. So inside the components I'll be creating a new file that we can consider as contact list component. Contact list component is here. Okay, and the next thing can be the conversation component. I can think of conversation component. So these are the main components of this application, the contact list part and the conversation part. So if I just can go to the contact list, then inside that contact list I just need to start with the functional approach. So I'll be simply creating a function, or that is going to be the contact list, or I can simply copy the name of this contact list component, and it's going to be an arrow function. And I'll be like exporting this contact list component default from this particular file. And in the return part, like instead of returning the UI, this time I'll be simply returning this string. And if I just wanted to import this inside our I can close this so that the code is pretty much clear. I can simply write the contact list component, the contact list component, I need to import it from components less contact list component, and similarly I can import the conversation component, and for the conversation component I can keep it here. And similar to the contact list component, what I can do is, like, just to get a start, I can simply make this conversation component like this, and if you can see that the contact list component is here, the conversation component is here, and the indent dev is here. I can like definitely remove the indent dev from here as of now. And now we are having a container which is having the flex direction row, so that's why it's like looking like in the column manner. Now like I will be starting with this contact list, and for contact list I'll be again like creating the container for this part. So I just imported the style components, and I'll be writing the container stuff, and this container is again the flex direction is going to be column because we want the things in the row manner. That's why I can simply write the display flex and the flex direction is column. Now the thing is like height of this, and we can define it as 100% height because we want to occupy the whole space in the vertical manner. And if I can simply write this as this, and I can copy this inside the container. So yes, this is the container. Now the next thing is, like here you can see that we are having a certain ratio in between the contact list component and the conversation component, so that for the smaller laptop screen or the desktop screens it is like a little bit comfortable. Like here you can see, like we can again work for the mobile screen or the iPad stuff so that this is not broken up. But for the start, what I can consider is like this, if this is having the one flex, then I can define it to 1.6, or we can say the 30% of the screen is here and the 70% maybe like this I can initiate with. So let's start like with flex of 1.6. so 1.6 of the screen will be covered by this part, the contact list, and the rest will be covered by the conversation component. And similarly I can create the container for conversation component, and I just copied the container of this into this part. And again we need to import the style component, so that now here we are having the display flex, the flex direction is column, height is 100%, and for this I can define the flex as 3, and again I just need to copy like this, and here we go. Like if I am having this screen, then you will see that the around 1.3 part is here and 3 part is here. So again, like this is the ratio, you can like divide it as per your own comfort. And again I can provide some sort of background to this conversation component. So here you can see a difference. And again what I can do is I can get back to the contact list component, and inside the contact list component we can start working with the stuff. And in that part we are having the profile info, the currently logged in user, and the search box, and the contact list. So I can start with the profile info. So for that I am defining a property with the styled div, and inside this what we can have is like some sort of styling, as we are having like in the column manner data. Maybe like in the future we can have the statuses, we can have the logout option. So for that I'll be going with the flex direction row, and in that manner, we can provide the background color. As I mentioned that I am having all the, you can say, all the hash code or the color codes, so I'll be simply copying that, and we can define some sort of padding here. So the padding is here. Now I can work with this part, that is the profile info div, and inside this profile info div, what we'll be having, that we can check out, definitely the profile image is there. So I can simply create the profile image, that is, as the name suggests, style.image img tag, and this img tag will be having definitely the width or height properties, and in terms of it is in the circular manner, so I can define the border radius as 50%. So we are having this profile image inside this profile info div, profile image, and here we go, I can define the source here. And again, if you are looking for the images that I'll be using in this project, then you can simply go to this public section, and in this public section you can definitely here inside the profile folder I'm having the profile pics, and other than that I'm having all the data, the chat background, the search icon, the welcome placeholder. So everything, every image is available in this particular repository, so you can always check out to that. For the local, and for the local stuff, what I'll be doing, I will be simply copying that stuff from my local system. So as of now I just copied all the structure and I can simply paste it in my public folder. So if I can reveal it in the Finder or the File Explorer, then I can simply so the data is here, you can see the profile section is here. Now you can choose any of the profile, if I can go and check out. So yes, this is my profile, so I can definitely use this. So I'll be using all the stuff from this section itself. So we were about to design or define the profile URL. So as the profile URL is available inside the public folder and inside the profile, so I'll be definitely using that path, that is profile / the indiandev.jpeg. So you can see that my profile is here. Now we have achieved the header part. Now we need to work with the search box. So I can minimize this, and for the search box I'll be creating the style components as the search box, and this is going to be the style div, and inside this style div we can have the background color and a little bit padding. So the padding is here. I can initiate the search box. The search box is here, and inside the search box we are just having a single container, we can say the search container. I can copy this and I can define the search container here. So this is going to be the search container, and inside this search container we are having if you can analyze, here is the search icon and here is the input box. So this is arranged in the column manner, so we can define the display flex and the column direction is row. Now I can remove these. I can have it is like this, and the background color is again white, so I can simply write the background color as white, and some sort of border radius is there, so I can define the border radius as maybe 16 pixels. And in terms of padding or the width part, we can have this stuff. So the search container is here. Now we need we can see that the search container is available here. Now we just need to define the search icons and the search input. So for the search icon we are having this. I can simply have this search icon inside the search container. And for the search icon, as this is the image, so I'm having the images in the public folder. So here we are having the search icon. For the next thing is like I just need to have a search input as well. So for that I'll be creating the search input, that is going to be the styled input. So you can analyze that all these are just the CSS that I'm just using inside the JS file. I'm not going to CSS file. So yes, if you are comfortable with the CSS part, then you can simply go with this style components. So here we are having the width search input. I can like define it here, the search input, and the placeholder I can have. And for the placeholder stuff, I'm having search or start a new chat text that I can use here. So for the placeholder I'm having this. So yeah, the text is here. Now one thing, I can remove the border and the outline for this search input. So again, like we can provide it as like this, and we can again add the font size to this search input. So yes, now we are having like a little bit similar to that part. We can check out the like elements as well. So if I just wanted to make sure or check it out, so this is the div. That's like pretty much clear, and I just need to remove this component, like this is contact list component. And instead of that, what I need to make sure, I just need to maybe I can define the width here as 100%. This is like this. And yeah, so we are having the header part, we are having the search box. We just need the like contact list, and we can consider the contact items here as well. And for the contact list, what I can do is I can create a contact component, like maybe in this file itself, constant, and that is again a functional component. And from here I can return something like again the contact component, and I can have it here, the contact component. And this is the contact component, and now I can design this part as well. So for that, like contact component, I can have its parent container. So instead of defining it as container, I can have it as the contact item, styled items, and this is going to be div. And for styling this part, like we can always go to this, and here you can see that this is display flex direction will be row, as we want profile, the text, and the timing in the column manner. So that's it. And like few basic properties we can have, like display flex and the flex direction row is pretty common, so I can wrap it here. I can keep it inside this part. Okay, so the contact component is here. Now we can define some more things, like the width is 100%, and we can define the border bottom, because you can see that here is the border like below every contact item. So this is a border of 1 pixel, and that is a solid kind of border. So I'll be simply writing the border bottom as 1 pixel solid and the color code. And for this part, like for every contact item, initially the background color is white, and yeah, so I can keep this like this. So you can see that this is white and the cursor is pointed on this particular element. Now we can define the things inside this contact item itself. Like inside this contact item, we are having the profile icon, we are having the contact info. So we can like initiate with that part. We were in the contact list, and for the profile icon, I'm having this profile image like that I have just used. So one advantage of this like style components is this, like if I just wanted to make use of the existing styling, then I can have it like this, like I'm writing profile icon, and I just need not to create the image tag again. I will be simply using that profile image, and now I can override all the properties from that profile image itself. So inside the profile image we are having the properties as like width and the height and the border radius. So I will not be like changing this, but definitely I will be working with width and the height. So I can define width and the height as 38 pixels, and few things that I can cover is like the margin left that I can provide, and margin top and margin bottom that I can also cover inside this contact item. So if I just wanted to find the padding is like at the top part, if I just wanted to consider, it is 15 pixels in the vertical manner, and in the horizontal manner it can be 12 pixels. So that's it, I think. And inside the profile icon I can have like again if I can consider this, I can go to the contact item and I just need to use this profile icon instead of profile image, so that we are having a like little big size, like the width and height has been updated. Now I can remove this. Now we are having the profile icon. I just need to create another div that will come like contain these the contact name and the last message. So for that I am having another component that is the contact info, and that will be having the flex direction column. And other than this, like the width should be there. Inside the contact info we will be defining the name and the like contact name and the message text. So for that, like contact name is pretty easy, like this is going to be a span which is having like width is 100%, font size is defined, and the color is defined here. And for the message text, that you can see that this is a little bit, the color is different. So what I can do is I can again define a component as message text, and that is going to have like some more properties, like the font size is a little bit smaller. So if I just wanted to use this inside the contact info, I can simply write the contact name, that can be Ayush K, and other than this what I can have is I can simply have the message text, and here I can write a message. So one thing we can do, we can like provide some sort of difference in between them that we can consider as margin top. So this is pretty much good. We can define the color as well. So this color is also like picked from the real WhatsApp, so it will look like that. We need some sort of margin in between the contact info. So for the contact info I can define the margin that is like vertically it should be 0, and horizontally I can take it as 12 pixels. So now it's like somewhat looking good. Now if like the reason why I just created this contact component like separately, because this is the component that will be like being reused and again in order to, like if I just wanted to have a lot of contacts, then in that case, like here you can see that here we go. Now I just need to make sure that we are having the scrolling at this end, not the whole application scroll. So that we will consider definitely. And now I can remove some of the contacts for now, and just to make it good. Yeah, that's fine. Now the next big thing we can have is the like timing, that the last message timing that we can like keep inside this, like outside this contact info, because like that is at the parent level. So we are having this message text styling, which is having font size a little smaller than the message text, some sort of margin right, and yes, now I can have the message time as well. So if I can copy this and I can paste it here with the message time, then we will see like if I just wanted to keep the time as 5:32 05:32 p.m. So here we are having the time, and I just need to like check where the like scope is, or the data is like moving outside this particular span. That we will check by inspecting, like this is the parent component. Okay, so height is defined, the width is defined, this is the header part, that is again good to go, and inside this div as well it is going like a little outside of this, so I just need to check. Okay, so if I can provide it as display flex, then it will should work well. Now you can see that the data is not going outside, or the input text is not going outside the container. So I can define the display flex on the top of that, like the search input, that is search container. So I can go to the search container and I can define the display flex here as well, so that other than this, if I can simply go to this part and uncheck this width as 100%. Okay, because that is taking the width of 100%, I can simply go to the contact item and I just need to remove this. Now it should be fine. Now here you can see that our contact list is pretty much covered up in this time span. Now we can jump onto the conversation component, and like we will be working with the placeholder a little later, but as of now I'll be working with this conversation component. And if you can see that inside this conversation component we are having the selected profile. So for that selected profile we are having the header, we are having the like chat input box, and other than that everything is the message list. So I can simply go to this conversation component and start creating the profile header. So for that profile header I'll be creating the style as const profile header, that is a div, and inside this div, like as of now we are not having anything. Okay, we are having the profile picture and the profile name, so we just need to go through with the display flex and the flex direction row, and like I need to initiate it. Profile header is here, and the color of the profile header is like similar to the header at the left side. So I'll be having this, so this is like somewhat similar to that. And for this, like for the profile picture inside this header part, I'll be having the same CSS, that is profile image, that we just used inside this particular contact list components header. That is, here you can see that profile image is here. For as of now I'll be just copying that stuff and I'll be using this inside the profile image. And here you can see the main idea is to keep the like height of the header at the both end like a little bit similar, and yeah, that's pretty much similar. Now I just need to have the username, maybe my name, that we will see. And to align this item and the center, I'll be using align item center in the profile header. So it's align, and to define a gap in between these components I'll be using the gap property with the 10 pixels. So the gap is here. Now it's pretty much good in terms of header. like the header is pretty much clean. And now we need to work on the chat box. After that we will be jumping to the like message list. And for the chat box, what I'll be creating is I'll be like defining the chat box component. That is again the const chat box styled, it's a div. And like the property of this chat box is like as you can see, like I can keep it as like the display is flex, display flex, and flex direction is again like you can check it out. The flex direction is row because we are having the emoji just similar to this part, or at the top level we can, like it's not required to define the flex direction itself. We can provide some basic properties like this. I need to use this chat box below profile header. Chat box is here, so you can see that chat box is visible at the top, but I just wanted to make sure that it is fixed to the bottom, so I'll be defining it as bottom 0. So let's see if it's there or not. Okay, so it's not there. Let's see like what's happening at this end. Chat box is here. Inside this chat box, okay, so what I can do is inside this chat box I can import the same search icon or search properties. So for that I'll be going to the contact list, and inside this I can have it as the search container, and I can export it from here. The search container is exported. Now I can use this search container inside my conversation component, and other than this I will be exporting this search input inside this, so I can simply import them and I can simply use them inside my inside this project or this file. So inside the chat box I can have this search container, and inside this search container I can have the search input. Okay, so here you can see the search input is here. Inside the search input I can define some placeholder, that is type a message. So the type a message is here. Now what I just need to have is like here I'm having the search icon, but here like inside this part, inside the message input box, I just need to have the emoji icon. For that I am having I just need to create another component, const emoji image, and that is going to be the image tag. And inside this image tag I can define the width and the height. Width we can take as 28 of pixels. Height we can consider as again 28 pixels. And inside the emojis I can keep it as before the search input, the emoji image. And for providing the source I'm having this image as well inside my public directory, so I can have it like this. And let's see, yeah, so the emoji is here, emoji image is here. I can define some sort of opacity because it is a little darker, so opacity, let's take it 0.6. I will go with 0.4. yeah, now it's a little better. Now it's a little better, and inside the if we can go through that, it is looking fine. One thing I can do is I can, yeah, now this is pretty much good that I'm having right now. And I can define some sort of margin left to this part. This is search input, maybe margin left as 10 pixels. As we are using the same component in all, like in at both the places, then it's like pretty fine. The margin is pretty fine. Now I can go back to this part, and now we are having this as well. And now we can work on the message component, or we can say the message list. We will make it like functional as well. The emoji image, I can add the property as cursor pointer so that it looks like that it is clickable. So yes, yeah, we will like make it functional as well. Now the next thing is we can jump on to the message part, and for the message part, what I'll be doing is I'll be defining a container, that is the message container, and this is style.div, and inside this message container the data is in the row manner, so I'll be defining it as the display flex, and the flex direction is column. I'll occupy the complete height, that is h. The remaining height I'll cover with the message container, so I can keep it in between the chat box and the profile header. So now you can have a look, like if I can refresh. So my this is the WhatsApp UI. Here is the contact list, here is the like conversations header, and here we are having chat box where I can type anything. Now we need to work on the messages or the message item. For that, what I can do is, like, this is the complete div in which I need to align the message, if like that is sent from my side or it is coming from the other side. So for that, like inside the message container, for defining our this message, I can have a message div. Maybe message div I can create here, like const the message div, and inside this message div, I'll be having the display flex, some sort of margin between, like in the vertical direction I'll keep it as 5 pixels, and in the horizontal direction let's take it as 15 pixels. So message div is here. Okay, so inside the message div, I can refresh this. Inside the message div we can have the messages. So for that I'll be defining the message, and this message is like simply this particular div. So for that, here you can see some sort of border radius is here, and we can have, like you can see, like if I'm writing the same thing again and again, and if the message is like a little bigger, then in that case it is not like exceeding the 50%. So we can define the width as like max width as 50%. Max width is 50%. The color for the text we can define, and other than this, some sort of padding is there, and the font size we can have as like this. So if I'm having a message inside my message div, message, hey man. So yes, the message is here. Now the thing is, I just need to provide the background color to my message. So the background color, I can like simply use one of the color here. Now here you can see that the message is like again visible like this. And before this, what we can have is like as the background, we can have this color as the background of this like message container. So I'll be defining it as like in the message container, and so yes, the message container is like now a little bit similar. But I just wanted to make sure that in case there are a lot of messages like this message div, if I can replicate this, then in that case I don't want my like whole application going to be the scroll mode. I just wanted to make sure that only this part is scrollable. For that, what I can do is I can simply go to the message container and I can make the overflow y as auto. Overflow y as auto. So in that case, like in case like a lot of messages are here, then you will see that the scrolling is in between this message container itself, like nothing else is moving. So that's how we can achieve this stuff. Now the next thing is like how to align these, like in the if it is sent by me, I just need to keep it right, otherwise I will be keeping it at the left. So for that, what I can have is I can simply have a property, like if that's your message, then I can simply provide true here inside like both message div and the message component, because like inside the message component I need to decide the color, and inside the message div I need to define the alignments. So like whenever we pass some data inside the style components, then you will see that you can make your styling dynamic depending on these properties. So I can use this is yours property inside message div. So if I can simply go to message div, and inside the message div I'll be like justifying the content, depend like if I can define it as flex and then you will see like these at the end of the flex, and if I can have it as a flex start, then it will be at the start of the flex. But I just wanted to make it dynamic. For that, what I can do is like as these are the template literals, we can use the curly braces like this, and from the props I am receiving props dot is yours. Like if it is yours, then in that case I'll be using the flex end, otherwise I'll be using flex start. So here you can see, and similarly what I can do is inside the message for the background part I'll be using the same approach. Like if that's yours, then in that case the background color will be like this, otherwise the background color is going to be white. Now you can have a look that the messages are aligned in like terms of the logical way, and the background color is also like logical. If that is your message, then the color is different, and if it is the message of the other person, then the color is different. Now something that I can look, the message div is not having like any kind of border radius that I can define to the message. Yeah, now it looks clean. And now what we can do is the things that are remaining are like this emoji picker. For that, like I'll be using a library, the emoji picker, and other than this we can like mock the data for this part. Like if I can simply go to the folder structure, and if I can create a file inside the source, new file, this is going to be mock data.js, and inside this mock data I can like copy the mock data from my GitHub repository where I just created the mock data, and I can demonstrate like I'm having the contact list for this part and the message list for the another part. So in the contact list we are having the basic data, the ID of the contact, the name of the contact, the profile pic of the contact, last message, and the last text time. Similarly for the messages, like for this part we are having the message ID, message type, that is obviously text, the text of the message, sender ID, and the added on time. So I can simply copy this mock data into our mock file in the project, and we can simply use these for the dynamic data behavior. I can go to the contact list part, and inside the contact list I can simply import the contact list from mock data. The contact list has been imported, and now what I can do is, instead of replicating the same thing, I can simply make it dynamic depending on the contact list that I just imported. Contact list is here, contact list dot map. I'll be mapping around the contact list, and from that I'll be returning the contact component. Okay, so this will be definitely having the user data, and that user data I can provide to the contact component. And if we can go to this contact component, here I'm receiving the user data inside the props, and I can destructure that like this. Now I'm having the user data, and here I can define the user data dot if I just go to the user data in the contact list, I just need to use name and the profile pic. So here is the name. Okay, so the name is now dynamic. You can see that Ayush Kulsres, John Appleseed, Alon, and the Jeff. And similarly I can use other stuff as well, like I can simply have the profile pic, okay, so the profile pics are updated. And other than this, we can have the last message text. Similarly, we will be having the last text time, so that it can be dynamic. Now you can see that this is dynamic. So once we are done with the backend part, we just need to provide the list from the API, and what it is saying, maybe this is wrong. Okay, it will be fine because the data is rendering at this end. If I can simply refresh, then you will see that the data is here. Now we can simply make the message list dynamic as well. For that, in the conversation section, what we can do is, we can simply have the message list imported from the mock data, and that is available here in the mock data. We are having all the information. What we can do is, instead of replicating this, I can again go with that part. I will be simply inside the message container, I'll be simply having this kind of behavior here, and from here I'll be returning the message data, or we can see the message div. I can remove rest of the divs from here. Message list is not defined. Okay, let me check. Okay, this is messages list. Now you can see that the messages has been iterated, and now I just need to provide the correct data from that. So instead of that, I'll be using message data dot text. Okay, so the data is here. Now to calculate this part, what we can consider for this part is, if the sender ID is 0, then I will consider it my current ID is 0 or my user ID is 0. Then in that case I will be comparing. If the sender ID is 0, then it is mine, otherwise it's from the other person. So now here you can see, so we have achieved the dynamic data inside the contact list and the message list as well. Now if I can simply work with the placeholder stuff, so that at the initial part we are having this placeholder. Yes, and then we will be selecting these things like this. So for that, what we need to do is I can like minimize this. For that selection, I can simply go to app.js file, and inside the app.js file I can define the state. So now for having the placeholder kind of stuff, what I can do is I can initiate a state maybe selected chat. So I'm using the React hooks here, use state, and initially it will be undefined. Use state is not defined. Okay, so I just need to import the use state. I can simply keep it like this. Use state is now imported, and depending on this state, I'll be defining that whether the conversation component is visible or not. So what I'll be doing is I'll be checking out if selected chat is there, then only conversation component should be there. Otherwise, placeholder I will be keeping. So now, like if you can have a look, then the placeholder is here, and as the placeholder is not having any flex, that's why it's like taking a lot of the stuff. For the placeholder, what I can do is I can create a div, and inside this div I can use the flex kind of thing, so that it is taking like the equal width. So inside this placeholder, like now you can see that the placeholder is taking the required width, and inside this placeholder, like I can define the flex direction as column, because the content like if I can refresh this, the content is in row manner. So I will define the flex direction as column, justify content as center, and like font size I can define, and some other properties like the align items. And inside this, like I can define the color code as well. Inside the placeholder I can have the image of that chat placeholder. So for that I will be creating a style components with the image tag that is having some sort of width and height, like for this particular logo, and this logo is available in my public folder, so I can simply like use this inside this placeholder. So now for this like chat placeholder I can use this, and here you can see that this particular welcome placeholder is visible here. Now like what next we need this text, keep your phone connected, and this like some sort of description here. So for that, what I'll be doing, I will be just like copying that particular thing, like keep your phone connected, and I can keep it inside a span. I'm not creating a new component for this as of now, like keep your phone connected, and other than that we are having like some sort of description. And now just to keep it like a little bigger than this, what I can do is inside this placeholder I can simply go inside this placeholder, and like let me provide some sort of gapping in between all the things, like I can keep it as 10 pixels. So gapping is there. Now I just need to update this, so I'll be applying the CSS on the span inside this, and I can define the font size and the color for that font. So yes, now here you can see that it is like pretty much good. Now what I need to do is if I just click on this, then the chat should be selected. Then in that case what I'll be doing, like let me add the hover effect that you can see here on this like contact list. So for that what I'll be doing is inside the contact list I'll go with this contact component and the contact item itself. And for the contact item I just need to add the hover functionality. So whenever the hover is there, then at that time I just wanted to change the background color from white to this color code. Now let's see if that's working. So yes, that's working. The hover effect is there. Now I just need to work on the click event of this particular thing. So I can simply go to this, and whenever the user clicks on this, on click, then what I need to do is I need to update the this state like that is available here, selected chat. So I just need to pass this method set chat to the contact list because the contacts are there. So inside this contact list I can simply use from the props, I can simply send this part set chat is equals to, and as I'm receiving this in the props, so I will be writing props chat, and inside this contact component I can simply destructure it, and I'll be using this set chat once the user has clicked on the contact item. Now let's see if that's working or not. I need to refresh. And after refreshing you will see that if I will click on this contact item or any of the contact item, then it will set the user data in the chat that is visible here. So selected chat will be filled up with the user data, and hence the placeholder will be removed and the conversation component will be visible. So let's see, if I click on this, then you will see that the conversation component is here. Now if I can refresh this again, then you will see the placeholder. Once I click on any of the component or on any of the contact, then you will see the conversation component. Now what we need to do is we need to provide make it dynamic. So for that, what I'll be doing is I'll be simply passing this selected chat to the conversation component so that it can analyze that what chat is selected. Selected chat is passed over the conversation component, and from here props, from the props inside this conversation component, what we can do is we can simply deconstruct the selected chat, and from the selected chat what we can utilize is the contact name in the header. So maybe if I can use this as the selected chat dot name, and other than this what we can have is we can have the profile picture of the user. So for that I am replacing this hard-coded value with the dynamic value. So let's see, if I click on this one, then you can see that profile picture is dynamic, the name is dynamic. Now if I can click on this, then you will see that name is dynamic, everything is dynamic. So that part is completed. Now I think we should work on this emoji picker, and for this emoji picker what I'll be doing is I'll be using a library, that is, if I can go here and search. So yes, this emoji picker react is the library that I'll be using, and you can find the link of this particular library in the GitHub repository itself. And here you can see that this is the library, and that is having all the emojis, so I can simply use this. For that, what I just need to run is I just need to install this in my project. So for that I'll be simply going to the terminal, and I'll be creating a new terminal. Here I'll be writing npm emoji picker react and -- save so that it can be added to my dependency list. So once it's installed we can make use of it. And just to check that how we're gonna use this, then you will see the demo is here. The picker is the one that you need to choose, and after that you can work accordingly. So I'll be doing the same stuff in the conversation component. So for that I can have the picker imported in the conversation component. So I can keep it here, so it will be coming from emoji picker, and as of now it is not installed, so it is showing an error. And now what I can do is I can simply use this inside my maybe this search box, search container. Okay, so the picker is here, and on the emoji click what I need to perform, that I can again define. So in here I can create a method const on emoji click, and here I'll be receiving the event and the emoji. Like here you can see that event and emoji is the one that I'll be. So now here you can see that the emoji picker has been installed. Now I can minimize this, and I can simply work on that part that is under. So yes, this is the emoji picker, and I need to define the on emoji click. And here what I will be doing is like my requirement is I just need to add the emoji to the text whatever written here. So for that I'll be simply like creating a state for that part. So let's see how I can achieve that. Like for that I'll be creating a state, and that is going to be the state for text. So I can keep it like this, like text and the set text method. And this set text will be used like at two places, one for the changes in the input text. So like this is the value that I can provide. The value will be text, like whatever the text is selected. So initially it will be like the empty string, and after that, like if I can, yeah, after that on change event will use this. So in the on change I'll be simply setting the text, set text, and here I'll be providing the event dot target dot value. Okay, so the target event dot target dot value. So this way, okay, so it is saying that use state is not installed, so I'll be simply importing that part onto the top of this file. So yes, now we can like go here. So if I have selected this, okay, some error is there that we will check. On emoji click is defined. Okay, so the set text part is completed for this reason, and we can go to inspect and check what is the error in the console. Like if I'm clicking on this, then we can see that in the conversation component. Okay, so this is a simple error. Right now you can see that picker is visible here because we have imported that picker, but we don't want this like in this manner. We just want it as the like in the absolute manner, so we can like definitely provide some sort of styling, and for styling we need to use the prop that is defined over here, picker style. So I'll be providing some sort of styling to this picker, that is position is absolute and bottom 60 pixel, so that it is like yeah, so that it is like looking like this, and from here I can choose any of the stuff. And now like on the emoji like click, what I just need to do is I just need to update the text, like set text I'll be using with the existing text plus emoji object is there, and from this emoji object I'll be using the exact emoji. And this way like one more thing we can analyze here is like the emoji picker is always visible, but I just wanted to make sure that we can toggle it from the click of this emoji icon. For that I'll be like again having another state, and that state can be called as the picker is visible or not, and initially I will keep it false, that picker is not visible. So depending on that I can like keep the picker. So the picker is here now, depending on picker visible. If the picker is visible, then only this will happen. And now the next thing, initially it is false, so you can see that it is false. Now the next thing is I just wanted to toggle it on the click on this emoji maze, so I can write on click, and inside this on click what I need to do is I need to toggle the picker. The toggle picker, and inside this toggle picker I just wanted to like toggle the value of the picker visible or not. So if I can refresh, then we can see that if that toggling of that picker is like working or not. So as of now, like I can select any of the contact, and now if I can click on this like emoji, then you will see that picker is visible. And if I am writing any of the text that is like being added to this text, and here I can write my text as well. So like it's a good stuff. And one thing I just wanted to make sure that if any of the text is being changed from this part, then like once that like emoji is picked, then I just wanted to like toggle this picker again. So for that, what I can do is here I can toggle the picker to false. So once the emoji is selected, then in that case the picker should be like gone. So now it's good. Like if I have selected one of the emoji, then it will be like off. So it's pretty good, like pretty amazing. Now one more thing I can do like in this particular video is like if I'm writing something and if I click on enter, then it will be added to the message list. For that, what I'll be doing is I'll be using the event or the method as the key down, on key down, and from here I'll be calling a method that we will call as on enter press, and that I can define here as const on enter press. That will be an arrow function, and from here I can have the event for this arrow function, and inside this event we will be checking that if the event key is enter, then only we will be performing the operation. Okay, so the event key is enter, and from here what I will be doing is I'll be updating the messages list. So instead of directly using this messages list, what I will be doing is I'll be defining the state for messages. So the message list is here, and that is initialized with the initial data. And what I will be doing, like instead of using messages list, I will be using simple the state that I just declared. And like whenever the new message is there, then what I will do is I will simply like push, like if I can have messages that I can like construct from message list. So inside this messages, I just wanted to push a new message object. So inside this push, I'll be using the message structure that I am having. So I can simply copy this, and like for now I can keep the ID 0 because this is just a dummy purpose. And the message type is text, and whatever the text is available in the state, I'll be setting that in the text part, or we can simply remove this as the key name is text. Sender ID is 0 because I am considering myself as the 0 sender ID, and as of now the time is hard coded. So that's it. Like if that is available here, I can update the message list with the new messages. And next thing I can do is I can set the text or the message text to the default value. Now let's see if that's working or not. So yes, I have selected one of the user. Now if I just wanted to write yes, done, like any of the text you wanted to write, and if you wanted to use the emoji as well, then you can always like go with the emoji picker. And like from here I can select any of the emoji. If I just click on enter, then you will see that the text is here. The like type of message text has been removed, so whatever I will write, it will be added here. So like this is all about this video, the front-end development of WhatsApp UI clone. And in the next videos, in the upcoming videos, we will be working with the MongoDB, we will be working with the database design, we will be working with the Node.js and Socket.io. So like the target for this current video is like we are keeping it at like 60 likes. So once you have completed the 60 likes, then the next video will be up. So that's it from this video. If you have learned any of the concept from this video, then please make sure to like this video, because liking this video will like keep me motivated for creating such content. And other than that, if you haven't not subscribed to the Indian Dev, then please make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching this video, guys. Thank you very much.